Now, one other thing. The next president will be the commander-in-chief of the armed forces and the diplomat-in-chief of the country. I think she's by far the best qualified of all of them. And here's why. Because she has truly distinguished service and bipartisan achievement on the Senate Armed Services Committee, passing bills always with Republicans to get body armor to the troops quicker, to guarantee that members of the National Guard and Reserves from North Carolina, for example, once they serve and they come home for life, they now get the same health care benefits that regular military personnel do. This is a very, very big deal to them. And there are lots and lots of other examples of this. There is a reason why the first serious woman candidate for president is the one who has been endorsed by two former chairmen of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the top military officers in the country, including General Hugh Shelton from North Carolina, who was the commander of the Special Forces Unit headquartered at Fort Bragg. 35 retired generals and admirals. One reason she won in Pennsylvania is that the two members of the Congress most identified with their strenuous opposition to the Iraq War, their demand for an immediate withdrawal, but their support for the American military are both Pennsylvania congressmen, retired Admiral Joe Sestak and Jack Murtha. They both endorsed Hillary for president because they think she has the best plan and the best skills and the best ability to bring the troops home from Iraq, to rebuild the badly strained military, and to take care of the veterans of this country. And we have on a huge load here. We have 70,000 wounded veterans, and 2,000 or more of them have traumatic brain injuries. So you can say you disagree with them, and they don't know what they're talking about, but the people that make a living and have made a living both defending this country and who agree it is time to bring the troops home from Iraq think she's got the best plan that will maximize our national security, rebuild the military, take care of the veterans, and I think their endorsement ought to count for something because she has really delivered the goods for these people. In February, when Hillary was out of money and losing all these states to Senator Obama, the caucus states primarily, she won the veterans vote. Everywhere we went, she'd win the veterans vote because they knew she had actually done something for them and would always be there. Now, I do not think there is a young person in America who will vote in this primary based on who would take best care of the veterans, unless you have somebody in your family that's been affected by it, who appreciates the fact that she passed a bill to test every man and woman coming out of Iraq and Afghanistan for traumatic brain injury and is committed to a healthcare system that will bring them back. But I want to tell you a personal story. If we don't do this right, if we make the shameful mistake we made after Vietnam and confuse an unpopular war with our obligations to the people who served in it, you, the students here, will pay the biggest emotional price, and you'll pay it for the rest of your life. I know there are 200,000 homeless veterans in this country today. Almost all of them are Vietnam vets who have their generation's version of what you call post-traumatic stress disorder. And if they had had what's in her GI Bill for the 21st century, counseling, mental health care, a veterans home to live in if they couldn't live on their own, access to education, small business loans, this would have been a more noble, more decent country the last 30 years, and people in our generation would not have to live with our failure. I don't want you to have to live with it, and it's another reason to vote for her for president.